The Big Hex of Little Lulu. A special called Little Lulu came out in 1978, and this two-parter was its sequel in 1979. Based on a comic strip, it was part of the overarching ABC Weekend Special. In an effort to get kids to read, ABC Weekend Special was seen as the solution. Not sure how, since if you're watching TV, that's time spent not reading, but whatever. While the story is basic, just about Lulu trying to start a hockey team and raise funds for it, what else can be expected from a late 70s ABC television thing? Re-airings were scarce, since the copyrights were a complete mess to try to figure out. So the Big Hex of Little Lulu was sort of just fading away until it became lost. There have been some promos that have been uncovered, but actual footage of the special is very difficult to find.
On the next weekend special,
Beware the hex of Lulu.
Lulu is about to change Tubby's life.
Are you kidding? You'll lose your appetite. Yeah! This stuff tastes awful. You're going to crash.
Can Tubby escape? The Big Hex of Little Lulu.
Zainab Can't Cook. This was a Pakistani television series in which a woman named Zainab Omar, who struggles with cooking, would meet people and learn cooking techniques from them. It aired on Aj TV in Pakistan, which translates to Today TV, and was apparently not just popular in Pakistan, but other countries in the area as well. Despite its popularity, this series seems to have been scrubbed almost completely from existence by Aj. Only a few separated clips from one episode exist on the Aj YouTube channel, and a few screenshots from other episodes. There was a full episode uploaded to Facebook quite a long time ago, but it has since been removed.
Zainab is a full-time mother who juggles her responsibilities at home and work with effortless ease. As editor-at-large for a successful business magazine, she has interviewed many leaders in business, industry, and finance. On the home front, she handles her responsibilities with the same verve and energy. But in the kitchen, it's a whole different ballgame. She tries. She really, really tries.
Ain't Life a Beach? If you're unaware, media members often get things called press kits, which are basically materials that give them information about a television show, or really anything, to help them cover it better. So when SpongeBob came out in 1999, of course there were press kits for the show, notably including rather inappropriate taglines that were not used in actual show advertising. These press kits became known as the Ain't Life a Beach press kit, for a sticker included within that displayed that phrase. Press kits are almost never preserved, especially from as long ago as 1999. The only reason this is even known about is an eBay listing, which is where the existing photos came from. Stunt Pigs. In addition to being a racing game, Stunt Pigs was also an action game, where, in-game, the players were performing Hollywood stunts while driving around. Its developer, M4, desperately wanted this title to be successful for the GameCube, with the racing and stunts being paired with a distinct art style and a dark sense of humor. Unfortunately, this wasn't the case, with the game being considered ahead of its time. So, when M4, desperate as they were, closed down, Stunt Pigs was cancelled along with the company. There haven't been any playable discs or ROMs of the game that have surfaced, and so one singular YouTube video is really all that exists of the game today. Halo Chronicles. Basically whenever they feel like it, Microsoft hosts an annual trade show called the X Show. At the 2006 event, Halo Chronicles was announced, which was basically an interactive storytelling which was more similar to a movie than any other Halo game. This was also to tie in to a Halo movie, with both projects being directed by Peter Jackson. Very little was heard from this project during its development, and a few years after its announcement, it was said to be cancelled. There's not any footage or screenshots available, and the team that was tasked with developing Halo Chronicles moved on to ODST. Shengi Tonic Wine. In the 1950s, 60s, and most of the 70s in China, advertisements were scarce, despite not explicitly being banned. With this being the case, the first real television advertisement in China did not occur until well after the death of Mao, and even that is pretty much an oversimplification of what really happened. But without too much of a history lesson, in 1979 the ad for Shengyi tonic wine aired during Chinese New Year. The ad depicted a girl and her parents buying a bottle of the tonic wine and giving it to her grandfather as a gift. The general reaction to this ad was one of confusion, with many people not really understanding the point of it. But after 30 seconds, the ad was nearly pulled. Even with that, it was still effective, with the wine being sold out quite quickly. This ad paved the way for other advertisements to be made in China, but despite this, the ad is lost. Television recording in China was basically unheard of for the typical TV viewer, and so the ad only really exists in the form of storyboards made by a viewer of the commercial based on what they remembered. Memory Game. This 1971 game show was hosted by Cardinals catcher Joe Garagiola and was created by Jeopardy creator Merv Griffin. The format of the game was that the contestants were given booklets with all the answers to the questions for that round within. They were given a certain amount of time to look at the booklet before it was taken away, and in each round the questions from the booklet were asked in a random order. For some reason that I'm not quite sure of, all the contestants on the show were women. Because sure, I guess they think women can only win a game show if you literally give them the answers to the questions beforehand. Jokes aside, whatever the reason was, the game show didn't last long. The show wasn't ever aired in reruns, so when a YouTube user uploaded an audio episode to his channel in 2022, that was literally the first time anyone heard any audio from the show in public since 1971.
Welcome, ladies and gents, to episode 1 of
Thugs on Film.
Well, I'm Stubby, and this, of course, is my best mate, Cecil.
Hello?
On tonight's show, we'll review the most anticipated film in years, Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
Thugs on Film. From 1999 to 2001, Thugs on Film was an animated web series. The series focused on two movie enthusiast English criminals who comment on famous movies and crack jokes in their reviews of these movies. Each short also had an interactive quiz about each movie at the end for some reason. The Flash animated series was available on the internet weekly from 1999 to 2001, but hasn't been fully preserved. There's quite a few episodes that are found and available to watch on different platforms, but not all of the found episodes include the quizzes. About half of all the episodes are available to watch on YouTube, with the rest being lost, and one episode from 2000 being incomplete.
Where are we meeting? He said at the bird swap. Where is
Cartoon Network City Era Bumpers. When it comes to Cartoon Network bumper styles, it's often divided into eras, and the era that is possibly looked at the most fondly is the City era. Basically how a lot of these would work is that they were skits with characters from Cartoon Network shows that take place in, what else, a city. There's been quite a lot of dedication from people to archive these, with most of them being found. But with the sheer volume of these pumped out by Cartoon Network from 2004 to 2007, finding them all is still a difficult task. Part of the problem is the unsure number of them that were even made. The later ones from 2006 to 2007 were especially difficult to find, and are believed to not all be accounted for. Food Fight, the game. If you know anything about the animated movie Food Fight, you know that it was initially planned to release in 2003, but then kept getting delayed to 2005, then 2007, and then was only finally released in 2012. The quality of the movie suffered, as you can imagine, with one of the worst productions in animated film history. Despite the film's delayed release, they were still planning on releasing a tie-in video game, and when you know it, the game also had production issues. Its 2006 and 2007 release windows were missed before finally getting cancelled in 2008. The game was apparently shown off at E3 2006, and there is even rumored to be an earlier 2001 build of the game, but this isn't confirmed. All we know is that you can't play it, and even if you could, it probably wouldn't be any good.